Okay, we'll bring this meeting to order. I'd like to welcome everybody that's here. We have speakers in the entryway as well as those online. The board met in closed session and no action was taken. And now we'll say the pledge. Ready, begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. First up, we have trustee reports. Bonnie?
All right. I just wanted to give a shout out, a thank you to everyone that's going to be here all summer long. I know transportation still, and Todd in the maintenance department and the teachers that are doing summer school. I just wanted to thank everyone for being there all summer long, getting our school ready for an exciting new school year. So that's all I have to report. Thank you.
Laura?
I just want to say that, my kids are very grateful for this last school year. So I want to say thank you to all of their teachers and all of the staff for that. And when I was driving here, I got the opportunity to see the kids from ESS coming back from their beach trip today. So they were, looks like, very excited to have been able to have field trips again. So I'm very excited for all the kids that are able to participate in that this year.
Don?
Yeah, I also want to echo what Bonnie said. I want to thank all the classified and certificated staff for all the hard work that got you through this last school year with all the COVID and stuff. I also wanted to express a thank you to Andy. I've only got to work with him a short time since I've been on the board, but congratulations to you on your next appointment. And I know you're going to do great things for San Marcos. And other than that, I look forward to our work together. Okay, thank you.
Andrew?
I just want, like everyone else, want to thank all of our staff for this year and the hard work that they put in for our kids. And I want to thank Andy for his service to our district. And this is his last board meeting. So thank you for all your service to our district.
Same as everybody else said. I thank you so much to all the district employees, certificated and classified. I know how hard this year has been. It's great to be through it and heading on to next year. I also want to express my thanks to Dr. Johnson. It's been great to have you as superintendent for the last 4 years. Okay. We move on to public comment. And we have, I think, 3 people here. I think Lisa's getting them for us now.
Wait for me. Okay. Okay. Karen, you want to speak first? This is Karen Gibson. Hi, Karen. Hi. Step right up and vote. Okay.
You ready? Okay. Well, I'm just here on behalf of the Eucalyptus Hills community, and we're here to request access, or possibly limited access, to the grass field at the Eucalyptus Hills Elementary School. We've been using that field in the community for a number of years, and for various reasons. There's parents that bring their children there to teach them how to hit a baseball. There's older people. It's a safe place to walk around. It's flat, level, and safe, considering we do not have sidewalks in the Eucalyptus Hills area. Yes, there are some of us that bring our dogs there. There might unfortunately be a handful of irresponsible people, but those of us that are there 5 to 7 nights a week, we make up the difference. We literally comb the field and look for anything left behind, including trash that soccer leaves behind, we pick up. Multiple times I have personally brought 5-gallon buckets full of dirt from my own property to fill in gopher holes that are there on the field so that people don't trip and fall and hurt themselves. There's an older man that's had a stroke a few years ago. He needs to walk, and that's a safe place for him to walk. And so recently we've been locked out, and we're just requesting to have free access to it, definitely after school hours. We realize that. I've never gone up there during school hours. I don't know if others have, but definitely after school hours. And so I would just like to request re-access to the field, and knowing that there are several of us that are responsible in respecting the field so that everybody can have access and use it. So I would like to just put that request in. Thank you.
Thank you.
How's everybody?
We're good.
Good.
Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for allowing me to be here today to speak with you all. My name is Rick Watson, and my family and I have lived in Eucalyptus Hills for over 30 years. It's a beautiful place, great community, and our 3 boys were lucky enough to attend Eucalyptus Hills School up there a long time ago. But it was a great place to grow up for our kids, and we have a lot of fond memories at the school, especially in the field, on the field area. We've had soccer up there. We've had all kinds of wonderful times with our families. We were very saddened the other day to hear that the school was recently vandalized, and we understand the need to secure and protect our school from vandals and those that do not respect public property. Our community wants to help and secure our school and keep this from ever happening again. I would like to offer an alternate solution to the full closure of the grass field, though, at Eucalyptus Hills. The grass field at Eucalyptus Hills is a vital important to our neighborhood. It has always played an important role in our community because we don't have sidewalks. It's very important. Like I said, it's kind of different, you know, it's not like Poway or Santee where they have parks and sidewalks everywhere. You know, it's one of the reasons we moved up here, but the roads are very dangerous, and without sidewalks, we still need a safe place to walk our dogs or our kids, things like that, and places to gather. We don't have many parks in this area. So our children, our elderly, and most of all our families all rely on that field every day. I don't know if everybody knows that. It's the only safe place we have in Eucalyptus Hills to walk and exercise and to play ball with our kids. Unfortunately, the new fence, which is we understand why it was put up, but unfortunately this new fence was recently installed and prohibits all access to this important resource that we have always enjoyed. Our community definitely needs some limited public access to that field after school hours. I know that it was open for many years during school, and there's some issues with that, and those are understandable, but I think they can be solved by maybe just allowing us to get it there after hours and on the weekends. Myself and others, people that are very passionate about this, will volunteer to keep the field clean and lock the gate that's already there every night to prevent vandalism. We live right near the school. This is something we could easily do. And it would keep all the people off this, you know, at school hours and everything else. It would keep the entire school secure. So Eucalyptus Hills is a wonderful, safe place to live, and we want to keep it that way. But we need that area to safely do our exercise and things like that. And we ask you to approve a limited public access to that area because it's such an important resource for all of us out there that live in Eucalyptus Hills. And I'm not sure how how we do that, if it comes to a vote, or if you guys can put on your agenda to talk about it. But it's something very important to all us up there in Eucalyptus Hills. Do you guys have any questions of me? I understand. Okay, well, thank you for having me today.
Thank you.
The next speaker is Mark Mahan.
Hi, Mark.
I'd like to thank you for allowing me to speak. That's not here. My name's Mark Mann. I've been a resident of Uke Hills for about a little over 6 years. Recently, we lost access to the field and the playground at the Uke Hills Elementary School on Bella Vista. The playground field is used by a lot of the people, residents of Uke Hills. It's one of the few areas that we have for dog walkers, people walkers, children. I take my grandson there just about every week or every other week, and now there's no access. The recently installed fence prohibits pretty much anybody from getting in without a key. Back in March 2020, I know there was a meeting I did not attend, but out of that meeting there had come where there was an understanding that there was an agreement between the residents and the district that the field was allowed for use for the residents of Uke Hills. Don't know the reason why everyone is locked out. Would be interested in working with everyone to get a solution so we can gain access again. I know when I'm there, I try to keep the place clean, safe for my grandson, and it's just a real handy place for all of us in Uke Hills to use. Just don't see the purpose of putting up a fence to keep the people out. Is that where we really want to be in 2021, given the last year and a half of crap that we put up with on all fronts? So just would ask your consideration in opening it again. It's a good stress reliever for me. Get home from work, I can go over there. I have a dog, take him. We walk for about half an hour to an hour, and it's helped a lot. So anyway, appreciate your consideration in this matter. If there's any way we can help, let us know. But let's find a way forward, a positive way forward, and not lock everybody out. That's not a good solution. Thank you. Any questions?
We can't answer questions. We just can receive information.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you for your time.
This is Robert.
Yes, Robert. My name is Robert Umali. Just like to say thank you for listening to us, myself, Mark, and Rick. I've been a resident of Lakeside since 93, 94. I just started using the field up there maybe 2 years ago. I'm a prison guard. I've been a prison guard for 28 years. It's very stressful. It's a very stressful job. And I'm sure you guys are aware of that. It's nice to go to this place and hang out with good people and just enjoy the company. And it's really peaceful and it's really nice up there. Now, I know that there's problems in the past about, dog poop, whatever. We do take it upon ourselves. I take it upon myself. I can speak for me that I go out of my way. If there's extra or whatever else, we pick it up. And I've even talked to people who've gone to the park and I've asked them, you enjoy it out here? You like it? And they say, yeah. I go, well, why don't you pick up after your dog? And they just kind of give me this look. And so I don't have control over everyone, but if I'm there, I will police myself and I will police other people and just let them know. And obviously if they don't want to, then someone just has to handle it. But there hopefully, like we're all saying, is come up with a solution. Whatever you guys want to do, whatever we could try, but let's not close it down. There's a gentleman, I'm sure you guys are aware of it, maybe, that he has a stroke and he uses the field for exercise. And a lot of people use that field for exercise too. But I just want to say it's really nice up there, and it's a shame. Hopefully we can come to some common ground to open it up, not just to myself, but other people too. There's plenty of people that use it up there. Thank you for your time. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you for coming.
We have one more online, so let me pull her in.
Hi, Ariella. This is Holly. We can hear you.
Hi. Okay, awesome. I pulled off the side of the road
Good.
to log in. Sorry, I'm just got off work, so I appreciate your time listening to me. I'm just gonna go over to some of the words that I put together. So I just want to thank you for allowing me to speak at tonight's board meeting. All of the people who spoke before me are some people I've befriended over the last year. My name's Ariella, and I moved to Eucalyptus Hills about 3 years ago. But when the pandemic began, I felt quite lonely and isolated, and I was left basically without any community. I was taken out of school, out of work. So my boyfriend one day recommended that I go up the street and befriend some neighbors who gather at the field with their dogs. And since that day, this field has not only saved me from complete isolation during such a crazy time, but it has provided me with friendships with the people that are speaking tonight and some who could not join us, community and a sense of belonging in my own neighborhood. And over the course of the last year, I've been able to see all of the uses that this neighborhood has been so privileged to get out of this field. I've seen the elderly walk safe laps around the grass. Again, we have said it so many times, but there's no sidewalks in our neighborhood, so it's a little stressful kind of just going outside and taking a fresh breath air. I've seen parents bring their children to practice baseball. I've seen a few school children play catch. I've seen people run laps. And of course, we have had some epic dog park gatherings just amongst ourselves with our animals. I don't speak for any of the people who use the field in the mornings because I know that they should not be using it during school hours, but instead I speak for those of us who use the field after hours and on the weekends in the most respectful way possible. We treat this field like it's our own backyard, and I don't say that lightly, we really do. We pick up every single poop that we see, go for holes, we fill in. We've taken out the trash before, and I've even seen my neighbor pull out weeds from around the jungle gym area because they were really pokey, and she's like, I don't want the kids to hurt themselves. I mean, we really care about this place. I understand where the school's coming from. Vandalism and misuse in the jungle gym area, as well as on the field, is extremely disrespectful and very hard to tolerate. I think a lot of blame has been brought upon the poop issue on the field, but I just want to remind everyone that we share the neighborhood with many animals, including coyotes, bobcats, and rabbits. And just living in the neighborhood, I have found plenty of poops on my property that come from animals that just like to roam around. There's a culmination of issues that has led us here to this moment, but I'm here because I'm going to stand up for myself and my neighbors and my beloved dog, Cammie, who's the happiest ever running around at full speed on that field with her friends. And I don't feel that it's fair and appropriate to lock out many of the neighborhood members who love this field as much as you do. We were given no warning, no negotiation, and many emails and calls and messages have been communicated with the district in the past few weeks, but none have been returned, at least to myself. If the soccer people can use the field for practice and games, they also bring a lot of trash in. But if they're allowed to use it, then I just don't understand why we can't have access as well to neighborhood members that really appreciate this field. I think between the neighbors and the school board, like Rick said, we could come up with a solution with some type of a negotiated time, maybe where the field would be available for us to use at our own leisure. I'm pretty sure I've seen the maintenance guy leave around 7:30 or so, and I think he would potentially be happy to lock the gate before he leaves. It's just kind of on his way out, to make sure that nobody can enter the field or the school area during the nighttime when I'm sure the vandalism has occurred. It would give us plenty of time after we get off work to gather and socialize with our dogs and friends while still giving you the reins and control over when the school field is open and or closed.
Shannon, your time is up.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. Well, I guess it's Ariella, sorry. Is she, do we have any more speakers, Lisa? Okay. Then we will hear now from Brooke Fagan from, oh, sorry, all of a sudden from River Valley, who had a great graduation this year.
There you go. Okay, perfect. You're what?
Oh, she can't see. Yes, you can see it on.
Okay. Okay. Thank you very much. First of all, thank you so much to Laura, Andrew, Holly, and Dr. Johnson for coming to River Valley's graduation. As always, it's a lot of fun. I want to say congratulations to Dr. Andrew, or to Dr. Johnson. I wish you the best of luck in San Marcos. You will be receiving an audio file every year in June as I send you the River Valley's alma mater song. I will think of you every time I hear that. Erin ended up sending me information that she wanted incorporated into this presentation. So I'm going to give a brief overview of this past school year. Like most of you know, this past school year was incredibly difficult, and River Valley did not come through this school year unscathed. In fact, we were hit pretty hard. So if you look at the first slide, you'll see enrollment information. I put enrollment information going back to 2015-16, which was the year before I started, and was it the last time that we were in the 200s for our enrollment. We had progressively grown, and then we ended up dipping this past year, in part because our classrooms are modular and our classes are split in half in those modular units. It was really difficult for River Valley to be able to bring students back to campus with the guidance of 6 feet distance. In terms of scheduling with the number of students who wanted to come back, we couldn't feasibly fit them in the course of the school day because we didn't have enough space for the number of students who wanted to come back. So we didn't bring students back until we ended up coming back from spring break. And by the time that we did, it was fantastic to see the kids on campus. But by that time, the damage had already been done. And you can see on these particular slides what that damage looks like. And I tried to disaggregate this data so that you could see we lost 34 students. First of all, we started with 307 students. We lost 54. We ended with the school year with 253 students. We lost 34 high school students who transferred to other public schools within California. We lost 9 middle school students, 6 of whom transferred to Lakeside Middle School and TDS, and 1 of them ended up going to Verona. We lost 7 students to private schools almost immediately because the private schools were back in session, and we had 4 students who ended up moving out of state. Since the end of the school year, we've had an additional 5 students who've moved out of state. So this has been pretty difficult for us. You can see our projected enrollment for next school year is 280. At this point, I am a bit skeptical that we'll even hit that. We are moving with the district to the new student information system, and our schedule had to be ported over today. And at this point, we have 240 students for next school year. So we are doing some advertising, we are pushing forward, but at the end of the day, we know that our not reopening has really drastically hurt us quite significantly. Now, that's not to say, though, that we were impacted significantly when it comes to learning loss with students. Like all schools, we were, but with this MAP data that we ended up conducting our very last week of school, we're pretty proud to say that our students actually did very, very well. And I put this data in here. I know it's a lot and I know it's really crammed together, but looking at this, if the most important component, if you look on the far right side, you'll see data regarding the number of students who ended up being either at grade level or above grade level based upon overall performance. And we had a huge number of students who were meeting those specific grade level standards and exhibiting their mastery of those standards. We did have students who were in the low percentile for math, several of our students. We also had several students who ended up on the opposite end doing really, really well. Unfortunately for me, this was our first year using MAP growth assessments. We opted not to do state testing so that we could do the MAP growth assessments instead. However, I ended up choosing to do the integrated assessments for 9th, 10th, and 11th grade students who are placed in integrated math 1, 2, and 3, not realizing until after the students took the exams that there's no normed data for those tests. So we didn't have any comparison data for students and how they scored with students around the country. The information that you see listed in 10th and 11th grade, those are for students who are in 10th and 11th grade who are already have moved beyond integrated math 3. So they're in pre-calculus and calculus, and some of those students are already taking classes at the community college because they're beyond calculus. So we don't have any information for 9th graders when it comes to math. Now, I know this, so moving forward, we'll have the students who take this test do both the Math 6+, which is what 7th, 8th, and 12th graders took, versus just doing the integrated math assessment so that we can have that data. Surprisingly, we had a total of 242 students of our 253 who took the exams. And our senior teachers did a fantastic job. I don't know if they bribed them students with candy or what, but the students showed up and they ended up taking the assessment. So it was fantastic to see that. We had students, because of the pandemic, who exhibited chronic absenteeism. This is something that we measure very differently than a traditional district, because our students, their attendance is based upon their work completion. And so we had a student in 7th grade who was chronically absent, in fact, had missed 27% of the school year. And this was a student that we ended up working with, bringing to campus, trying to motivate the student. The parents were upset because they didn't want to send the student back to the student's prior school because they felt that the student wouldn't learn. Interestingly enough, on the data, the student ended up scoring very well in reading, not necessarily as well when it comes to math, but it's great and valuable information to have those results so that we could work with the students moving forward. Other students, so that was the one student who was significant in terms of absenteeism. We had the next student missed 12% of the school year through the calculations with our independent study. And again, that student, those absences were prior to returning to campus. And once we did reopen in April and the students returned to campus, it was like night and day. I'm sure you all saw it. It was like a light switch being turned on with those students getting their work in, attending, focusing, doing what they were asked and tasked to do. Overall, our attendance rates generally tend to be pretty high, in part because we require the students to be so diligent with their work completion because they're working at home those 3 days a week, and we need that evidence to determine that they're doing what we're assigning and they're staying on top of their independent study work. But those students who were low and chronically absent, those are the students that we'll be working with. And I think that's the next slide. No, not this one. I'll get to it. Our board changes. We are a board that's comprised of 3 parents that are elected from the parent constituency, 3 staff members elected from the from amongst the staff. 2 of those staff members are certificated staff, 1 is classified. Those staff members are not changing in terms of board composition for next year. We have 2 community members who are elected every year. The 3 parent members, typically we only lose 1 a year, but we actually had a parent who is done, the term expired, they have a graduating senior, but we also have another parent who moved out of state. So we're in the process of filling that vacancy right now. Staff composition, this just broke my heart. We ended up having to give out layoff notices. For a couple of years, we were actually adding teachers to our staff. So to then turn around and have to give out notices because we were reducing force was quite sad. We ended up giving out 4 layoff notices, 3 full-time teachers received 1 part-time teacher. 2 full-time teachers were let go. 1 full-time and part-time teacher are going to remain. But just with anything, there's some trepidation on behalf of those teachers, and now they're really concerned about their job security. And so with our declining enrollment and knowing that they're really concerned regarding having received these notices and not knowing whether or not we're going to see a further dip is disconcerting to all of us. We have had parents who have said if a mask mandate is necessary for the fall, that they've already been very upfront and they've told us that they won't bring their students back to school. So, that's something else that is weighing on us, because many of our parents who opted to come back to us and return for the duration of the school year did so with the hope and the expectation that it would just be for that school year, the remainder of the school year, and that we wouldn't have to do it going into the fall. And because everything is up in the air right now, we could have a large number of students who enroll, but then those parents become dissatisfied with what those guidelines are and then disenroll. So it makes us a little skeptical. So with all that being said, our finances are still in a, I still feel positive regarding our finances. In part, this does not show everything that we are receiving in terms of total revenue. It does not have the federal funds in here at this point. I know that we're receiving some federal funds, roughly about $230,000. So it shows that overrun of $88,305 that most likely, hopefully, we will be able to eliminate that and be in the positive for at this time next year. However, a lot of that is going to depend upon the case that is being heard before the California Superior Court right now. The Reyes case, which is the growth funding case. I don't know how much you guys know about the case, but it is pretty significant with us. This Reyes case, over last summer, the state decided that it would not fund new students to non-classroom based schools in the 2020-21 school year. Many of these schools, like River Valley, had already enrolled these students who transferred to us from other schools. It is the belief amongst non-classroom based charter schools that the state breached its constitutional, statutory, and contractual obligation to fund each student's public education and at the school of choice that those students are attending. At this point, the state is saying that no, the charter agreement is not a contractual obligation that the state has to adhere to. And so at this point, it's moved forward and it is now being litigated. March 11th of this past year, the courts granted the plaintiff's motion for class certification. River Valley is part of that class certification. Moving forward, there's 308 public non-classroom based schools within the state of California. 52 of them are in San Diego County. So I can't tell you how many meetings on a weekly basis I attended regarding all of this and what the future of the non-classroom based schools look like, with AB 1316 and with the independent study push and with trying to enforce the state's desire to, with this particular, the AB 1316, the state's desire to try to implement a lot of restrictions on charter schools. That was layered on top of this particular case. So this case We don't know how it is going to come out, what the outcome is going to be. If it comes out that the class certification that the non-classroom based schools end up losing, we don't know what the funding is going to look like. And so this is something that is keeping us on our toes. And it just feels like this past year has been pandemic aside, it has felt that this past year has been an uphill battle from the get-go, because of this Reyes case, because of AB 1316, and just feeling like charters have been knocked down left and right. And, at the end of the day, many of you have heard me say this before, our school is not the school for every student. My own kids did not go to River Valley. My own kids went to Lakeside. They ended up K-8 through Lakeside. I didn't send them to high school at River Valley. We're not the school for every student, but the students that we do serve, we serve well, and we fit what they are looking for. And to know that we're facing these obstacles and that school choice is threatened for many of our families makes it a very difficult pill to swallow. So we won't know until next week. If you guys want to read any of the briefings, let me know and I can send them to you. All right. In terms of school reopening, we are not offering summer school. We never do at River Valley. However, we do partner with Ingenuity Charter School for all of our students. They have the option of attending for credit recovery and for remediation at Ingenuity. And we've partnered with them for about 6 years now. Moving, once we come back in the fall, we are going to bring in intervention specialists to help with our students. I want to do another round of MAP testing at the beginning of the school year with the new students who come in and determine appropriate placement, because our class sizes are so small. If we have to have separate classes, I actually want to build them and incorporate them into the schedule. Otherwise, we'll have the students meet one-on-one with those intervention specialists. I'm also looking at incorporating with credentialed teachers actual math support classes. We've done this in the past with our students. If they are identified for math support, they attend their regular math class on their scheduled days, but then they also have the additional class that is utilized for reinforcement that covers the exact same topics that they were taught in that actual class for that day. And we'll look to do something like that again as well. But there were some highlights and some things for us to be proud of. We received a 6-year accreditation from WASC, done virtually this year, and it was something that kind of put us through the ringer. I thought the charter renewal put us through the ringer. WASC kind of did a little bit as well, but we got that out of the way. We got the stamp of approval, and we got the 6-year accreditation from WASC. As of today, our 44 graduating seniors, and this just makes me want to shout for joy, our 44 graduating seniors completed and passed a total of 129 college classes. This is in addition to AP courses. 31 out of the 44 seniors, when they were juniors, took AP English language and AP Spanish language courses on our campus. And this year, 20 of the 44 students took AP English literature and AP Spanish language. That's on top of those classes that they took at the community college. At graduation, I ended up stating that it was 104 classes. That's what it was as of December, but we have all final grades in now, and that number has increased to 129 college classes. We have 4 of our students who are going in as juniors to college because they have completed so many requirements. So that's fantastic. Again, college courses aren't for all students, and we know that. And many of our students opt not to take any of the college classes, but they're there and they're available to them. One of the things that we did this year, we started a full-time independent study program. I wasn't anticipating us starting this until the fall, until this coming fall. But we actually started it in January of 2021 because we had many parents who said, look, if the school reopens, I don't want my child to reopen. My daughter's experience at her school reopening was not fun. She sat in a class on her Chromebook as the teacher sat in the class with her on her Chromebook doing distance teaching and distance learning at the same time. There was one class that she didn't have that, but the others she did. And we didn't want that for our students, and the parents didn't want that. So many of the parents said, you know what, we would rather just go the full independent study route. We can actually do things on our own as a family. We can get kids into other sports that they can participate in during the day. We can travel if the kids are in the full-time independent study program. So we looked at it, and we actually had 14 students start in January. I was shocked. I thought, okay, we'll probably have maybe 3 or 4. We had 14. And I've just received a couple of emails today of some of our parents who are looking to go to the full-time independent study program for us. So it's a new adventure. Again, the funding though is going to be questionable, as we don't know where everything stands right now. We won't until next week. So that's it. I think that was shorter than my presentation a couple of years ago. So, and I would love to say congratulations to Dr. Taylor. She actually was kind enough when I was getting my admin credential to take me under her wing for a few days and to help me so I could fulfill some of my requirements in my administrative program. She also happened to be the principal when my son promoted from 5th grade. So I have a great fondness for her. All right. Anything else?
Thank you
Okay.
for a great
Oh,
presentation.
thank you. Have a fantastic summer. I hope you guys get to take some time off and enjoy yourselves. And Andy, best of luck.
Thank you. Okay. Let's start with the public hearings. We have a public hearing to hear comments from the public on the disclosure of the collective bargaining agreement for the Lakeside Teachers Association and agreement. California School Employees Association and its chapter 240, side letter of agreement, and resolution number 20.
Sorry, I was muted. I hope everybody heard that. Would someone like to make the motion? So item 2, so we need a motion to approve since there's no speakers to the public hearing.
I'll make a motion to approve item 2.
All in favor? Aye. That's all of us. Approval is requested for the tentative agreement with the Lakeside Teachers Association to resolve all negotiations for 2020-2021 school year. The tentative agreement includes changes to the pupil-teacher ratios, reduced workload, compensation with a 2% off schedule salary payment for 2020-2021 school year only, retiree benefits, and term of the agreement.
I move to approve.
Oh. You're a second, so that, okay, all in
Okay.
favor?
Aye.
Moving on to number 4, approval is requested of the side letter of agreement with California School Employees Association and its chapter 240 regarding a one-time off schedule salary payment in the amount of 2% for the 2020-2021 school year.
I'll make a motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, no, that's all of us. The adoption is requested of the resolution number 2021-35, providing a one-time off-schedule salary payment in the amount of 2% for the 2020-2021 school year to the certificated and classified management and confidential employees commensurate with the bargaining unit member off-schedule payment for the 2020-2021 school year. Someone like to make that motion?
I'll move that we approve.
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
We have a public hearing to hear comments from the public on the disclosure of the collective bargaining agreement for the Lakeside Teachers Association side letter of agreement, board certified behavior analyst, also be known as BCBA stipend. Do we have anyone to speak to that? No. Then the approval is requested for the disclosure of the collective bargaining agreement for the side letter of agreement, Board Certified Behavior Analyst, BCBA, stipend with the Lakeside Teachers Association at a cost of $5,946. Would someone like to make that motion?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Approval is requested of the side letter of agreement, Board Certified Behavior Analyst, BCBA stipend with the Lakeside Teachers Association at a cost of $5,946. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Moving on to the consent agenda. Would someone like to designate the items of business to the consent agenda?
I will. Go ahead, Bonnie.
I'll make a motion to move everything to the consent agenda.
Well, not yet. That's the next one.
Okay, awesome. I make a motion to move everything to the designate everything to the consent agenda. There we go.
There we go. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Now we are going to approve the consent agenda. And is there anything anyone would like to pull? Now's the time for that. 2.1. All right. And
3.2. right?
2. Yes, we need to pull 3.2. Anything else? Okay, so someone make a motion to adopt all items of business except 2.1 and 3.2. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, 2.1.
Back in my.
You're muted, Laura. There, Laura.
So moved.
There's something I need to read here. The next item is the employment contract between Superintendent Rhonda L. Taylor and the governing board of the Lakeside Union School District for 2021-2024. The agreement includes an annual salary of $203,231 for a 2021-2022, a 2% increase to the superintendent's annual salary following a satisfactory evaluation effective June 1st, each subsequent year, and the same health and welfare benefits as certificated management employees. Do we have any discussion? Welcome, Rhonda.
Yeah, welcome.
Welcome. So moved.
I'll second.
Okay, all.
Aye.
I'm supposed to read this, hang on. I move that the board take a final action to approve the employment contract between Superintendent Rhonda L. Taylor and the governing board for a 3-year term starting July 1, 2021. I guess we need a second for that.
Second.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Congratulations.
Congratulations, Rhonda.
Rhonda, would you like to speak to us here?
Okay, so I just wanted to come and thank the board personally for your faith and trust in me as we move forward together, and I work under your guidance to move this district in a positive and forward direction, serving our students and our staff in Lakeside. I also want to thank Dr. Johnson for his leadership over the past years, and let you know how much I've enjoyed our conversations about what's best for students and all of the meat and potatoes we've discussed over the years. So just thank you very much. I'm excited. You know where my heart is. You know I'm all about this district, and so I look forward to working with you all. Thank you.
Thanks, Ron.
Okay, so we have the final two enrollment reports for this school year. The first one is the full month through June 4th. At that time, we had 4,661 students enrolled. We actually had an increase of 2 students over the prior month on that particular report. And then the final report is just for the final week of the school year through June 11th. And on that one, we actually had a dip of 9 students, ending the year with 4,652 students.
Thank you, Erin. So did you have some other updates and for business and operations for us?
I do not have a report tonight.
Very good.
I'll pass it on to Kim.
Kim?
Oh, I'm feeling some peer pressure. I'll just quickly say that our Infinite Campus, as you know, we're moving to a new student information system, so our Infinite Campus data upload will, first time, we're moving everything over to tomorrow. And then also just to say that summer school is up and we're working on getting summer school running. ESY has already started, but summer school will start on the 6th, and we're super excited about that. That's it.
Thank you. Dr. Johnson?
So I have some prepared comments. I'll keep this down to under about 20 minutes if I can. I only got a couple of chuckles on that one. Come on, come on. No. I am. Sorry, let me get my. So we had an opportunity to speak already in closed session. So I just wanted to express my appreciation to the board here again. It's been 6 years I've been here in Lakeside. When I came here, I wasn't sure. I didn't know anybody. I wasn't sure what I was coming to, but this district and this community embraced me fully, and I very much appreciate it. Past 4 years in this seat, you guys have been amazing. You've been very supportive. I very much appreciate the openness, the trust. We've had a lot of difficult things come before us, as will continue to come. It's just the nature of the business, but I appreciate the relationship that we've had, and I will take very fond memories, lots of learning with me to my next venture. I also want to congratulate Dr. Taylor. We have had some good times. We crossed paths on our way in. Well, my way in, Rhonda was on her way out, but I think we knew right away that we were kind of kindred souls in the profession. So I want to wish her the very best. And with that, that's the board meeting. That's my final board meeting with you guys, and I'll remember it very fondly, and hope we stay friends and stay in touch.